Manomiya ce, amma ni gorowa ne. Ina da yara guda 3. Ina da gonaki guda 2, ɗaya na masara da dankali, ɗaya na aca. Wannan aikin gonan da nake yi shine kawai, ba wani sana'a, shine kawai ina lura da kaina da kuma 'ya'yana duka. Duka yara na guda 3 sun yi girma yanzu, sun samu dan gona suna yin dukkansu manoma, ba wani aiki. Yanzu sunana Leto Habila Damdak, ni manomiya ce. Ni Ogbonge woman, ni manoma ne. Cikakke, bani da wani aiki kuma.
Agriculture is widely accepted as a major force in reducing poverty, with women playing a major role in Nigeria's food production. Women small-scale farmers are critical to sustainable food production, which places them in the unique position as gatekeepers in the nation's quest for food security. Although millions of women in rural areas work as farmers, farm workers, and agricultural processors, their efforts remain unrecognized in most parts of the world. This is as a result of no positive government policy and infrastructure to sustain and encourage this vital group of farmers. Women small-scale farmers have not been able to move beyond subsistence level, and this has led to poor performance that has kept agricultural yields low and unsustainable.
I got into agriculture because I had passion for agriculture, but while staying back home, I felt that it's not sufficient to watch over the children alone. I can improve on this passion. That was how I got myself into practicing agriculture on the farm. The type of agriculture I practice is I plant, then I also rear birds at the point, and at the point I dropped rearing of birds, then I switch over to aquaculture. So I would say that I have an experience in planting of arable crops like cassava, maize, soya bean, and all the rest. Then I shifted from there to majorly aquaculture and vegetables in particular, cucumber, cabbage, tomato, and ugu. So I shifted to vegetable then with aquaculture as a principal part of my farming work.
I have a lot of challenges. The farm inputs are very expensive. Then the finances, because to farm this is very, very expensive here. A ridge here is 1,200 per a ridge of this farm of yam. That is one challenge I have. And another challenge is that when we plant, as we farm, you can see that they have destroyed most of the ridges. Animals here are destroying the ridges that were made. So when the rain comes, we have to pay money so that they bring back the sand that has been destroyed here. Then another challenge is, as I said, the inputs like the fertilizer. You know, there is a special fertilizer that is normally applied here. So I hardly get it, and that is super.
How to keep away the Fulani herdsmen from destroying the farm by allowing their cattle to stray into it and eat up the growing cassava stem. Because if they go into the farm and eat it up, it will cause a delay in the time of harvest, and is also going to cause a deduction in the tuberization, so that the time of the cassava to bring out big tubers will be delayed. Therefore, it's a big challenge because that has a lot effect on the profits that one expects from the farm.
We've just concluded a study in northern Nigeria, and that study is looking at the intersection of gender inequality and the improvement of agricultural livelihood. The study is specifically looking at the barriers that women face in improving the growth of the food that we eat. And what we found out is the issues of lack of access to land, lack of access to water, lack of access to financing, and lack of access to the extension services. We are really appealing to the government, we are appealing to the incoming government to not only have the right kind of policy, because that's not what we're missing. We actually have good policies in the agricultural sector. We have the agricultural transformation agenda. We have programs for the growth enhancement scheme, which is providing input subsidy for farmers. We have the government lending program. The problem is in the implementation of those programs. So we're really appealing to the incoming government, both at the federal level, state, and the local government area, so they can create the right kind of incentive and environment for an effective implementation of those policies. As Oxfam, we stand ready to work with the government at all levels, from the federal to the state to the LGA level, so women can actually grow more food and so we can have a hunger-free Nigeria.
The Female Food Hero Project, an initiative of Oxfam, recognizes and rewards small-scale women farmers as major players in the field of agriculture and food production. The project, which began in 2012, seeks to recognize and celebrate small-scale women farmers as its food heroes. It also seeks to innovate communication tools to campaign for a shift in the way decision makers and the public view women farmers and farming. So, why women?
Oxfam puts women at the center of our programs because we believe that gender injustice is a violation of human rights and it is an obstacle to sustainable development. We believe that when a country, a nation, a community does not place men and women side by side, giving them equal opportunities, they fail to reap the resources and the skills of every member of that community of that country. And so gender justice remains the center of what we do. And for Nigeria, we believe that we must work with women. Available data points to the fact that if we have 70% of Nigerians living below the poverty line, it also shows that about 80% of the poor are women.
The project is centered around a competition to find the most outstanding women farmers by giving them visibility and an opportunity to redress some of the imbalances that hinder women's ability to grow in the agricultural sector. For the 2014 FFH tagged Ogbonge Women in Nigeria, Ogbonge is a common parlance in the country.
Female Food Hero Award is actually looking at shifting the mindsets and the perspective of the public concerning agriculture and farming. We want them to begin to see that they actually count, they are playing active roles, the Ogbonge women, which is actually an acronym for the Female Food Hero in Nigeria. Ogbonge means people that are strong, people that are industrious, people that are tenacious, people that are resilient, come what way, whether in climate change or out of climate change. These women will stick up for their farmers, will stick up for Nigeria, and they don't relent. Once they set their hands to that plow, until it goes on well, they don't stop.
The award also recognizes the vital role these group of women farmers play in the rural economy. The empowerment of rural women farmers is a critical step to tackling poverty, as it enables them to improve their livelihood and the general well-being of their families and their communities. Women take their natural nurturing skills to the farms. They're strong, industrious, hardworking, and tenacious, working the land under all weather conditions.
I've been having this poultry for the past 15 years. But my problem is that I don't have a larger space and I don't have the modern equipment to rear them or good room. I wish to have over 200, but because the room is not big enough for me to add more layers, and there is high demand of eggs in this area because nobody rears these layers here or has a poultry farm.
We have this one here, which is earthen pond. In these three types of pond, we discovered that fish that grow in the earthen pond, they grow almost in their natural habitat and they do well. Without the attack of predators, in profit making, they grow faster and break even.
I started rearing them about 6 years ago. And almost every year I used to sell up to 10 because they give birth to 2. This one is pregnant. The black one here is pregnant. This one is pregnant. And this one delivered 2. Has 2 small. And this one has children. This one is for this. And this one delivered this, and she is also pregnant now.
Oxfam initiated this project to improve the social and economic status of women farmers, working in collaboration with some of its partners: the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Association of Small-Scale Agro-Producers in Nigeria, as well as some individual support. 10,800 nominations were received and shortlisted to 12 finalists by a competent panelist drawn from government, civil society, and the private sector to ensure transparency, fairness, and accountability, which were the hallmarks that governed the selection process. The 12 women were invited to Lagos for a week-long event that comprised of various activities, which eventually produced the FFH winner for 2014.
How are you? Are you sure you are fine? Yeah. I can see with the way you are smiling, I can see that you are all fine. Right. Oh.
A woman. Yes. Monica J. Megari from Kaduna State.
Ogbonge woman. I'm Sophia Christopher from Akwa Ibom State.
Woman.
The week-long event comprised of exercises, medical checks, agriculture business talk, learning handcraft, and a talk on stress management. The women also had fun displaying their cooking skills in a food competition on various ways yam could be prepared. The concept of a value chain was introduced to the women through an excursion to a soap-making industry and a fish farm, showing the women the possible end products of their produce.
Decide to do what they carry for Cameroon, as we say, just take it, pass it around and smell it. This is the one with the fragrance. Now this one comes with the fragrance, not with the natural. Someone that pass around fast, smell it.
Agric is good. Farming is good. Yes. If there are no farmers, all of us will not eat. Yes. Now, you know cocoa?
Yes. Yes.
Good. How much is 1 ton of cocoa? You know, because
a bag you can 40,000.
40,000.
That's 100 kg.
100 kg is
40,000.
40,000. Okay, so if 100 kg is 40,000, it means 1 ton is what? 400,000. Very good. 1 ton is 400,000. 1 ton of chocolate is 4 million.
Good.
Start from where you are up. So I want you to have a mindset of adding value.
It was a joyous moment for all the 12 participants when the winner was announced.
Well, just like every other person, when you are a celebrated winner, at least you feel very excited. So, being the HHF FFH celebrated hero, I felt excited, and it brought a lot of encouragement to my heart to say that, oh, so these little things we do in our corners could come to limelight. So that's one. Then, in the family, you know, my children, I always say, Mommy, you like trouble, you like wahala, you like this farm wahala. So now when I phoned them and told them, they say, Mommy, you don't mean it? We see. So they also became excited. To the point that one of them is even telling me that, Mommy, I want to go into farming, even if not for anything else, for this. So at least you can see it's bringing a family focus to farming. Then in other ways too, FFH has brought me a lot of exposure by the things I see, where they, in the things they call me into to come and see. For instance, the International Women program that was held in Abuja, there are a lot of discussions there that created an awareness in my heart on how to go about helping to sensitize and encourage young people to actually embrace farming.
The cash prize boosted the women's self-esteem and enhanced their capacity to become modern farmers, like Monica Megari, the first runner-up.
After the award, I was given money, 200,000, which helped me to purchase a very large land. Here we don't have a land. As a female, I don't have a land. But Oxfam has made me to have my own personal land. Like in our area here, they don't give a woman a land to possess. So that land has become my own personally. So I'll be able to cultivate anything in that farm without any directives.
Back in their communities, one of the women, Laitu Dampak, speaks on the added impact of the FFH project.
A wannan wuri gaskiya na ji daɗi domin competition da muka yi namu ne ya zo number 2. A wakokin da muka yi namu na Plateau ya zo number 2. Mu biyu ne a wurin, amma muka yi wakoki, muka yi drama, to namu ne na Plateau ya zo number 2. A Dahwa group namu shine ya zo number 2. Gaskiya mun ji daɗin wurin sosai. Wanda suka ci abincin su ma sun ce sun ji daɗin wurin, sun ji daɗin abin da muka yi. Kuma na ji daɗin wurin, na gan canji kwarai da gaskiya. Na ɗauki abubuwa daga wurin wanda na ganin sun kare rayuwa na da yawa. Da wayansu abin da nake tunawa, to wannan wurin ya zo ya ɗauke shi gaba ɗaya. Ba ni da ko damuwa.
The FFH project is a successful project that has shown women that medium or small-scale farming, if adequately harnessed, can become an income-generating sector that empowers women economically.
The future of women in agriculture is bright because the interest women show now in agriculture is giving an indication that if a woman is properly sponsored, that in spite of the domestic, duties, she can still fulfill her role in contributing her quota into agricultural development in the nation. So the future is bright because she can make an economic improvement for the family, and then the food security, she will contribute her own quota into it. Ogbonge women. Ogbonge women. Ogbonge women.
Nazama Ogbonge woman feeding the nation.